We had in the old scenario always a calculation. The longest time we fly with a fighter bomber over Germany is if you go from the Czech border to the Bodensee, and that takes you less than 15 minutes. This is enormously fast. This also shows how reactive air defense forces must be and how integrated they must be in order to counter especially surprise attacks, and that's why this integration aspect of air defense is so important.
ACCS allows NATO and the nations to manage air operations both over NATO European territory and out of area when deployed. It combines the planning, tasking and execution of all air operations by integrating functions such as aircraft control, air traffic control, command and control and airspace surveillance, amongst others. ACCS is replacing NATO and national systems and will interconnect more than 20 military aircraft control centres, including the headquarters Allied Air Command, otherwise known as AirComm, in Ramstein, Germany. AirComm delivers air and space power for the alliance. Its mission is to protect the NATO European airspace on behalf of the Supreme Allied Commander Europe. This responsibility is delegated to two combined air operations centres, CAOCs, in Torrejón, Spain, and Udine, Germany, as well as one deployable air command and control centre in Poggio Renatico, Italy. ACCS will interconnect these three CAOCs in the future, increasing the effectiveness of NATO air operations. The Italian Aircraft Control Centre in Poggio Renatico was the first ACCS site to achieve operational status in May 2015.
In Italy, as a country, the beauty of ACCS is using the system for the non-real-time portion, so the planning phase of a campaign, for instance, and the real-time. For instance, managing an alpha scramble for a real case.
We are one of the satellite stations of AirComm, and we're we're the only deployable unit for NATO that provides recognized air picture for NATO anywhere in the world, basically. We have a deployable AOC, which can also anywhere in the world provide planning of an air campaign on a small scale, because we're a small unit. ACCS is basically the operating system that we're working is, so it's an enabler for our missions. What is the most important thing is that we provide a picture to link between the tactical and the operational level. So what we do here, the picture that we provide with ACCS, can be linked directly to the higher headquarters, so they know what's going on and they can take their decisions based on what ACCS and our system is providing to the higher headquarters.
In January 2016, the NATO CAOC for Northern Europe achieved early operational capability for ACCS.
When the system went online here, and we first started running the system operationally and trying to do air policing with it, there were a lot of people wondering if the system would just falter and fail and we would just say, okay, we'll just revert back to the legacy system. That didn't happen. So it's been pretty stable, and that's been a surprise for us, but it's been a good surprise. And we've been touting that as a success.
The next sites to get ACCS will be Glans in Belgium and Lyon in France in 2017. When fully deployed, ACCS will cover 10 million square kilometers of airspace.
The most important thing, I think, is integration with older systems. Because if we are the only ones that have ACCS and the rest of the world doesn't have it and we cannot integrate with them, then we're useless.
From my perspective, the key will be, the economy of mass that we can provide as nations in the alliance when, Italy won't be alone anymore, but, Belgium, France and all the other will follow.
Valued at over €2 billion, ACCS faced criticism, including for delays.
NATO has shrunk the number of its command and control posts considerably. Again, I bring you an example from my own country, which is Germany. We had 14 air defense command and control posts in the past. These 14 will be replaced by 3 ex-entities. If you imagine the savings in manpower, manpower is very expensive. Over the years, if you imagine that you don't have to maintain these facilities, it saves a lot of money.
IT is the primary weapon system, I think, for NATO, for any organization that deals with it. People don't realize that that costs money and costs investment in personnel. But without it, we can't work.
ACCS is supported and maintained by the NATO Communications and Information Agency. The agency is responsible for rolling out ACCS across Europe while continuing to support legacy systems during the transition phase. Despite initial delays, ACCS is being deployed and is supporting NATO air policing as well as national missions in Italy, and it will soon be playing a key role in NATO's ballistic missile defense.
Today, looking at ACCS, it's behind me, being operational and knowing the programs, this merging of the ARC2 domain with the BMD, well, let me tell you, I'm feeling confident that it's going to be a big success of NATO pursuing on this program. I am an operator, I am a user, but I do see that it's going to be a spend to save for NATO and for each nation that is participating to the program.